Hey everyone, today we're going to take a look at dividing polynomials. Specifically, we're going to look at long division polynomials today. So this is going to be a two-part lesson on this for a video. So we're going to do part one today, and the next lesson we'll do part two of 5-2. So dividing a monomial is pretty much very simple. We're just going to make separate fractions. So in this case, we have 5a squared b minus 15ab cubed plus 10a cubed b to the fourth over 5ab. So to do this, we're just going to separate them into different fractions and just have the same denominator of 5ab. And then go ahead and use properties of exponents to simplify. So with that, we're going to use quotient property and subtract the bottom exponent from the top exponent for the like variable. And when we do that, we're going to get a minus 3b squared plus 2a squared b cubed. So go ahead and pause the video to give this one a try and see how it goes. And when you're ready to check your work, go ahead and unpause the video. All right, so we're going to head and split this up into three different fractions. We're going to have 3x squared y over 3x squared y plus 6x to the fifth y squared over 3x squared y. And then minus 9x to the seventh y cubed over 3x squared y. So when we're setting these up, the plus minus signs are dependent on the signs that we have in the given expression. So we should notice here in this first fraction that we have the same numerator and denominator, so that tells us that reduces out to 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. X to the fifth divided by x squared is x cubed. Y squared divided by y is y. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and we're going to keep the minus sign. X to the seventh divided by x squared is x to the fifth. Y cubed divided by y is y squared, and with that you should get b. All right, next, we're going to take a look at long division. And before we do that, we're just going to review our steps for long division for when we had it with just regular, back like in probably third, fourth grade. So when we would do, I'm going to use 15, dividing 779. So there's a few things I already know. I'm going to have a remainder, so we are going to talk about that vocabulary. I purposely made sure to pick something that would not be a perfect multiple of 15 so that we could go through that whole process. So again, for this process here, what we're going to take a look at is we have 779. And so the first question I'm going to find out is how many times do I know 15 goes into 77? And so I can usually do this. I'm going to know my multiples of 15 are 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and I can tell that's going to be it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15 goes into 77 5 times. So I'm going to do 5 times 15 and subtract that. So 5 times 15 is 75. I'm going to subtract 77 minus 75 is 2. I'm going to bring down the 9, so I have 29. Well, I know 15 goes into 29 once, so I'm going to subtract 15 because 15 times 1 is 15, and I'm left with 14. We are actually going to stop here, and we're going to use the word remainder 14. We are not going to go any further. We're not going to go into decimals. We're just going to leave it as remainder 14. So these are our steps for dividing using long division, and this remainder thing is even going to actually happen with some polynomials. So taking a look here using long division, we're going to use those same steps of multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. So we have x squared minus 2x minus 15 divided by x minus 5. So we're always going to take a look and see what does it take for our leading term, so our x in this case, what do I need to multiply this by to get the first term here? Well, x times x is x squared, so I'm going to multiply this by x and subtract that. So the biggest thing here, remember, is that you are subtracting. So sometimes distributing this negative sign to help you out would be the best thing to do. And by subtracting, we're going to get 3x, and then we're going to bring down 15. So we have 3x minus 15. So now the question is, x times what is 3x? Well, x times 3 is 3x. So I'm going to use 3, multiply 3 by x minus 5, and subtract, and we get 0. So x squared minus 2x minus 15 divided by x minus 5 is x plus 3 with a remainder of 0. So it goes in perfectly.
It is now the end of Sea Lunch.
All right, so go ahead and pause the video to try this one out, and unpause when you're ready to check your work. All right, so we have x squared plus 5x plus 6 divided by x plus 3. So we're going to go ahead and set that up. So x times x is x squared. So I'm going to multiply all this times x. So x plus 3 times x is going to get me x squared plus 3x. And we are subtracting, that's why I'm putting that parentheses. X squared minus x squared is 0. 5x minus 3x is 2x. And bring down the 6. X times 2 equals 2x. So I'm going to multiply by 2. And so I'm going to get minus 2x plus 6, which gets me a remainder of 0. So my answer is x plus 2, which is A. Next, we're going to walk through this problem. We have a squared minus 5a plus 3 times 2 minus a to the negative 1. And we have some options. Notice B, C, and D have a fraction involved. This is what our remainders are going to look like. They are going to be written as a fraction, but you don't have to go any further than that. So by reading it, we notice that the second multiple has an exponent of negative 1. This is another way to say that we're just dividing by 2 minus a. So when we set this up, one of the things that we do want to go ahead and have this is you want to have your variable leading. So we're going to rewrite this as negative a plus 2. These are the same thing, but because we're going to be multiplying a's, what we're going to actually really be looking at, it's easier to go ahead and switch it in that format. So we're going to head and figure out negative a times negative a gets me positive a squared. So I'm going to multiply that by negative a plus 2 to get an a squared minus 2a. So negative 5a minus negative 2a gets me negative 3a. Because we're going to be adding to the negative 5 in this case. Bring down the 3. Well, negative 3 times a gets me negative 3a, so we're going to multiply by 3. And then we have a remainder of negative 3. So since we have a remainder, we're actually going to go ahead and write this as a fraction here. So the minus sign comes because the remainder is negative, so we have 3 over 2 minus a. So we are going to go ahead back and rewrite it as the way they gave it to us, so that we don't have any double negatives or anything to worry about. So in this case, the answer would have been D, given those answer choices. All right, go ahead and pause the video to try this problem. Unpause the video when you're ready to go ahead and check your work. All right, so we're going to head and get started. So we have x minus 3 is dividing x squared minus x minus 7. So I'm going to think of, well, x times x gets me x squared. So I'm going to multiply by x. When we do that, we get x squared minus 3x. So x squared minus x squared is 0. Negative x minus negative 3x is positive 2x. So I'm going to now bring down the negative 7. X times 2 gets me 2x. So I'm going to multiply by a positive 2. And when I do that, I'm going to get 2x minus 6. And I know that looks like a really bad 3, so it's not as obvious. So I have 2x minus 2x, which is 0. -7 minus -6, which is more like a +6, which gets me -1. And with that, we're going to go ahead and pick B. So my remainder is -1. Going ahead and there is a little switcheroo here. All right, going on to here on example 4. I'm actually gonna have to work this one out. The PowerPoint had a completely wrong example.
It is now the beginning of D lunch.
It was just completely wrong, completely off. And to show you what they had x cubed minus 4x squared plus 6x minus 4 divided by x minus 2. That obviously is not what we're working with. So we're actually just going to head and work this one out. The only difference we have here is that we have a divisor that the degree is greater than 1, meaning I'm dividing by an x squared instead of an x. But your setup is still going to be the same. So we're going to do x squared minus 5x plus 4 dividing into x to the 4th minus 4x cubed minus 7x squared plus 34x minus 24. So we're just going to go ahead and do this one. I don't know what the book was thinking when we put this one out, but we're going to head and take a look at it. So looking here at x squared, I need to know x squared times what is x to the 4th. If you're really not sure about that, you can set up the first two terms, the first term of each one. I'm going to divide x to the 4th by x squared. And when we do that with quotient property, we get 4 minus 2, which gets me x squared. So I know I need to multiply by x squared. And when I'm filling this out, I tend to like to write it above the same degree, so it lines up. So it kind of tells me when I get over to the -24, I know I'm done, or I only have a remainder. So I'm going to multiply x squared minus 5x plus 4 by x squared. And when we do that, we're going to get x to the 4th minus 5x cubed plus 4x squared. So as a reminder, we are subtracting. So x to the 4th minus x to the 4th cancels out. -4 minus -5. So when we have -4 minus -5, that's really like saying -4 plus 5, which is going to get me a positive x cubed. -7x squared minus 4x squared is -11x squared. And then we're going to head and bring down the 34x. So then if I know x squared times x gets me x cubed, so I'm going to do plus x. And now I'm going to multiply our divisor by x, so I get x cubed minus 5x squared plus 4x. X cubed minus x cubed is 0. -11 minus -5, so it's really -11 plus 5, which gets me -6. Keep my x squared. 34 minus 4 is positive 30, so 30x. And then we're going to bring down that -24. And I know x squared times -6 gets me -6x, so I'm going to do a -6 and multiply that entire divisor by -6. So I get -6x squared. -5 times -6 is positive 30, so positive 30x. 4 times -6 is -24. And I can see I'm subtracting itself from itself, so that gets me a remainder of 0. So our answer here is going to be x squared plus x minus 6. Pause the video if you need more time to write it down. right, so here is your U-Try, example 4. Go ahead and work this one out. Pause the video and unpause when you're ready to check your work. All right, let's go ahead and check it. So we're going to have x squared plus 2x plus 1 dividing x to the 4th minus 3x cubed minus 3x squared plus 7x plus 6. So x squared times x squared gets me x to the 4th. So I'm going to multiply my entire divisor by x squared, and I'm going to get x to the 4th plus 2x cubed plus x squared. My x to the 4ths cancel out. Negative 3 minus 2 gets me negative 5, so negative 5x cubed. Negative 3 minus 1 gets me negative 4, so minus 4x squared. We're going to bring down the 7x. So x squared times negative 5x gets me negative 5x cubed. So we're going to multiply that. We're going to get negative 5x cubed. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. So we get negative 10x squared, because x times x is x squared. And negative 5 times 1 is negative 5, so negative 5x. Our x cubes cancel out. Negative 4 minus negative 10 is like negative 4 plus 10, which is 6x squared. 7 minus negative 5, 7 plus 5, so plus 12x. We're going to bring down the plus 6. 6 times x squared gets me 6x squared, so I'm going to multiply by positive 6. And when we do that, we're going to get 6x squared. 2 times 12, 2 times 2, 6 times 2 is 12, so plus 12x. 6 times 1 is 6, so plus 6. And I see that they all cancel out, so I'm left with 0. So my answer is x squared minus 5x plus 6, which is B. That is the end of the examples for long division. I will see you next time when we go over synthetic division.